Hello and welcome to Xbox Classics. In this installment, it's the polarizing game made by Sega, released in 2002 exclusively for Xbox. This is Gun Valkyrie. Gun Valkyrie is not a very common game that people think of when they think of the original Xbox, but this is a game that is really divisive amongst its fans. So let's play some of this, and I'll get into why some people love it and some people hate it.
Life is too long. If we are only meant to wander alone, searching for meaning in this world, life is much too long. It has been 4 years since Dr. Hebel mysteriously disappeared. The human race has yet to fully recover from the shock of losing the man that had so affected their lives. The populace had become but sheep, lost without their shepherd. 1870 AD. That was the year our world changed. Dr. Hebel made a revolutionary scientific discovery. He developed the technology to harness tremendous amounts of power from the energy cells deposited on Earth by Halley's Comet. His new invention was soon dubbed Hebel technology, and he was awarded much scientific acclaim. However, few realized the effect Dr. Hebel would ultimately have on us all. The glorious era of the steam engine came to a close in the latter half of the century, and Dr. Hebel's Halley technology completely changed every aspect of life on Earth and beyond.
Anyway, so the point is that it's a steampunk game that takes place in, this alternate reality. And now you are sent in with this jetpack to go explore strange new worlds and do new things. And anyway, it's technically a third-person shooter with a sexy protagonist and a weird-ass storyline. Like most games developed exclusively for the Xbox and, from the ground up, it's a beautiful game and has aged beautifully as well. So like I said before, it's a third-person shooter where you move around with the left analog stick. You shoot down enemies, in front of you by pulling the right analog trigger. You can jump and do all these cool acrobatic moves with the left trigger, and you can aim around with the right trigger. However, this game has really polarizing controls. That's the one thing that people don't really like about this game, and that's because you can move the right analog stick as a camera, but this only works so much as aiming basically up and down. It doesn't work very much from side to side. You can slightly adjust your camera, but you can't really adjust the camera beyond a certain range. The range is so limited. Here I'm going to move as far right as I can, and that's it. That's as far left as I can. So you can look only to the slightly to your left and slightly to your right. It doesn't really have the same sort of third-person camera that most third-person games use. However, this is something that you really have to just get used to, and is like a limitation of the game. In order to turn around, you have to actually move the entire left analog stick, and that's how you can actually see what's behind you. Fortunately, there's really like an auto-aim system in this game to allow you to attack basically whatever is basically in front of you. You don't even have to... You just have to be basically in front of it, basically facing it. You don't have to be necessarily right in front of it. This makes the control a little bit more forgiving than you might think.
Nope.
The jetpack is really what keeps this game fresh and makes it unique. However, the jumping mechanics, being able to, hover and get around with the jetpack, does take some getting used to. Like, here is a point that usually stops a lot of people. You can't normally just get up there and, get over there, but you have to do this little boost. You do the boost by holding down the inward on the left trigger.
Though you will.
There are also different types of attacks that you can do. You can change attacks by pressing buttons on the face of the controller. So this is a different attack that you can do. But I'm going to switch back to my main attack. So your goal of the first mission is to reach this box at the end of the level, and then you have to get back to your starting point. So it's down there. You get to it, and then that's the end of the level. You can also hover down so you can get to your goal safely without taking any damage. Alright, so I've acquired the drive gun. Yeah! You have a limited gauge that allows you to boost only for certain limited periods of time.
You have acquired a core. It must be processed back at the lab first, but I suppose this means you've saved one colonist.
Alright, I got a core. There's all kinds of acrobatic moves that you can pull off, and, you know, the draw distances are really quite impressive. As most Sega games on the original Xbox, this feels like the successor to the Dreamcast. This feels like a Dreamcast title that just happens to be on the Xbox. And it's awesome. Let's do some barrels. Let's attack. And let's get out of here. End the level. You have to land on this platform. And off we go. Alright. So now that that's done, let's do the second level with the time that's remaining. Let's go. Gun Valkyrie is unfortunately a victim of its own non-success. This game, well, you know, was not that popular, and unfortunately, because of the fact that it was sort of, you know, so disappointing in sales, it never saw a sequel, which is really a shame because this game deserves a sequel. It deserves something, you know, that was capitalized on its premise, but had, you know, maybe perhaps better control. Unfortunately, this as a solitary entry in the series is, you know, it never saw anything, the sequel it really deserved, but even as a standalone game, it's still really fun, and it's, you know, worth picking up if you have an original Xbox. I don't remember if this game works on the Xbox 360 or not, but I would imagine probably not, because, you know, again, it wasn't very popular. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.